Okay guys, got kind of a cool one for you today. This is Eric Nelson of Nelson Gunsmithing. I picked this up from a local gun shop. Shout out to Idaho Gun Outdoors on Overland in Boise. This is a used Pietro Beretta model 71. They call this the Jaguar. It's chambered in 22. The reason this jumped out at me is because this has some custom modification work done to it. The island front sight, which you can see here, is affixed to the barrel, not to the slide. And it's been threaded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this down, examine the internals. I've never done one of these before, so this will be a learning experience for everybody. So first things first, always confirm that we're clear, unloaded. Pull your slide back, and that just rotates. Oops. Go. There we go. Got to go the right way with it. So it's under a little spring tension normally. Recoil spring guide rod. You can see this was at one point a fixed barrel, so somebody probably had a compensator on it because they drilled it to make it compliant with states like California where you can't have a threaded barrel. There's not much to it. This is a blowback operation gun. And it looks like the front sight was silver soldered on. It's not the sturdiest mounting job I've ever seen. Let's see how much that shows up there. It's very fine detail, right under my index finger there. But we'll look at that. If I think it needs some touching up, I'll put some more solder under it. That, huh? Pretty sure this is tapered. There we go. There we go, that's the extractor. That looks pretty good. Spring doesn't have any rust on it. It's a little weak, feeling it earlier, but that's just a thumbnail test. So we can get that pin out of there. That looks a little cattywampus. There we go. I just want to make sure that pin was running true. It looked a little crooked in there. There it goes. And that's the firing pin. Fat fingers. There we go. So like a lot of guns, the firing pin is retained by the same pin that holds your extractor in place. Real robust return spring on that. Firing pin looks good. I don't see any peening or wear. It's nice and sharp. See if you can get that focus there. It's nice and sharp, good square face. That's good, that's reassuring. Okay, now as you guys know, I like to keep all my parts kind of sorted as I go. I got my little tray here, so this is going to be for upper components and so on and so forth. Slide looks pretty good. Pretty basic dovetail rear sight. Nothing wrong with it though. And again though, this is for defensive gun purposes, this is about working up close. So we're going to make some modifications. One thing I'm strongly considering doing is drilling this out for a fiber optic post. I think there's enough meat there, but I got to double check. All right. The next step is going to be to take the grips off. Grip screw. There we go. That's your magazine release. Ooh, my God. My wife just showed up with a drink in hand. Best wife ever. Thank you, dear. Now she's yelling at the cats. I'm sure you can hear her. Yelling at the dog. Sorry, dear. There you go. Two sides. These grip panels are kind of big. They make some wooden ones. They call them, there's a word for it, like, not ergonomic, but they're fairly expensive. They're $70. I'm not sure if I want to drop that much money on this project yet. Okay. All right, little trick here. There we go. You want to be really careful when you're doing what I just did there. Do not start with a screwdriver. I had it loose enough I could wedge a little screwdriver tip into there, but never start with that. That's a really good way to miss a screw like I did, and then you start cracking grips. All right, well, we're looking at the internals now. Transfer bar. That's your disconnect, it looks like. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, disconnect. There we go, that's the trigger reset spring. Whoops, see, oh, yeah, see, Eric broke a cardinal rule there. Gotta be careful, that's a really good way to end up damaging your gun. Your takedown just pushes out from left to right, it's very simple. Now again, I've never done one of these before, and we're proceeding very deliberately because I don't want to accidentally break something. There we go. So that was real easy. I just used my special pliers there to press that out. There's your hammer strut. And that apparently is a captured component. Yeah, there's a little spurs holding your spring onto there. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that's going to come off there. All right, we'll mess with that in a minute. Now that there's no pressure on the hammer. No. Here we go. Push that little cross pin out. There we go. So that little cross pin helped retain the safety. It's a thumb safety mechanism. It's not a blind pin, is it? Trigger. There we go, nothing retaining the disconnect. Okay, well, it's my gun now, I can do this. That's interesting. See, now I don't think that's a blind pin, but I think it's been glued in spot with that red paint over it. So I'm gonna have to put a little shoulder behind this here. Get your lined up there. Drop down to size. Boy, that is in there. And it's interesting, it's not under any spring tension, so it should just fall out. Let's try a little heavier hammer. Sometimes that helps. Yep, felt it go. Interesting. Okay, so it is concave. It is meant to be painted with a little red. That's the safety. I'll have to repaint that. It's not a big deal. And then we have our hammer. We have the hammer. A little greasy. Needs some cleaning. I want to dress that edge of the sear up a little bit. There's some goo in there I want to clean out. Okay, so there we go though. That is a fully torn down Beretta 71. And 22. Alloy frame. Boy, this thing is lightweight. You can barely tell you're holding it. So we'll do a little cleaning. While I've got this apart even, I might take it over to Dingo Coatings and get it refinished. Maybe do something really slick like oh heck, I could go get it black nitrided or something. That would look cool, wouldn't it, guys? Full black nitride, or maybe do it in gold. I gotta see if I can get these burrs out. I'm gonna have to re-engrave some of this because the rust is so bad I'm losing the marking there. Yeah, I don't know. So a little cleaning, a little dressing. We'll figure out what we want to finish it, and then when I get it all back, we'll try and do a trigger job on it, and I'll show you how reassembly goes. Thanks for watching.